Was doing my big test today, and if any of you saw it, because yesterday I had a bunch of problems going live. I have experience going live because I worked at a agency, actually a government agency in Georgia for 2 years, a couple of years back, and I was handling all their live streaming of their meetings. There they had council meetings, excuse me, um, the commissioners for the county commissioners. So I was handling all that, and everything was going smooth. Worked out all the bugs. But yesterday I tried to do my streaming test here on the channel, and I was running into issues. Kept running into problems, trying to figure out how to go live on my phone and also access YouTube Studio at the same time, so that I could type on the full-size keyboard, because I can't really answer comments on my cell phone. And obviously I couldn't answer them while I was using my cell phone to stream, because I have my cell phone mounted on a tripod so that you guys can see me and I can pan back and forth if I want to show you something on my monitor. I'm doing it the old school way, but it seems to be working out really well. And this quick update is a kind of a test slash update. So everything today on my last live stream went well. I was able to get inside of YouTube Studio, and I was able to have my phone streaming the content. And one thing I learned, which actually I had known but had forgotten because I hadn't used it in such a long time, is that I had to start my live stream on my phone first, then I had to open up YouTube Studio. And the little element that I was missing, well, two elements. I think one of the other elements I was missing, I needed to go, I'm using Wi-Fi to do this, so I needed to be on the same Wi-Fi network, and that helps. That solved part of the problem. But the other problem was user error. Me on my point. What I wasn't doing correctly, once I had the live stream going, and once I signed into YouTube Studio, I could see an area in the middle where it said, okay, your live stream is there, it's running, it's on now. I had the green button saying that I'm going, it's being received. I adjusted some of the streaming settings, and that worked out great also. I had it on the medium level streaming setting, and that appeared to be good. Got good quality, good sound. And so I worked all those problems out. But the thing I was missing, which I thought I had to jump on here and tell you guys, the thing I was missing is that I had to click on the title of the stream so that I could access the view of the video feed coming into YouTube Studio. And no matter where I looked and explanation that people were giving out, no one said that. And it's just a simple not knowing. And again, my favorite saying, you don't know what you don't know. So I finally decided to click on that, and then I was able to see my stream coming from my phone. And so I was able to see also the comments that were coming for you guys. And I want to thank a couple of people who jumped on and said hi right now. Hello. I'm going to be able to, when I'm doing these streams, I'm going to be able to answer you on the laptop so that I won't have to try to punch these little teeny keys with my big fingers. So, and also try to keep the stream somewhat stable. When I'm streaming, usually from home, and I'm doing these live stream events where I'm answering questions or I'm trying to solve problems for myself and also explain those problems to you. So what I will be doing tomorrow, I'm going to do, and it's probably going to be somewhere around 11 a.m. or noon, something like that. I'm going to be doing another live stream, and I'm going to be taking the footage, because what I did today when I worked on that live stream, I had my HVX 200, an old camera, and I'm so glad I brought it back to life. It was one of those old P2 cameras, and I paid a lot of money for it. So it's having a new life here on YouTube, because what I'm doing is some of these live streaming events, I'm going to stream some of them live. But the great thing about the P2 camera, it allows me to record. I think I have a 64 gigabyte P2 card, so I can record full HD or 720p HD. I think, 720p. But then I just bump it right up. You can't tell the difference. But I bump it right up to 1080p, and I can record like almost 3 hours straight. So I can do my streams, and then I can also do a horizontal version. because I'm going to be shooting a lot of this vertical video. Like I found out, which was really exciting to me, was that vertical video is counts towards my total viewing hours that I need for my monetization. So I was happy to find that out, because I've been thinking about doing more live events, but now just this really reinforces it. So instead of just shooting the long form content that I was going to do and post it, which is great, I'm going to do it live. So today was my first test of that. And tomorrow I'm going to take the content, the P2 content, and I'm going to format that and upload it. So I can, since I'm going to upload it a little bit, I can sweeten this sound if necessary. Because today what I made a slight error was I didn't have my clip-on mic, because I was usually, when I sit right here in front of my cell phone and I'm doing these live events, I don't wear a mic because I'm right here in front of it. And then there's some great tools inside. There's some, I'm not sweetening the sound on a live event anyway. It's not necessary. I'm so close to the phone, the sound sounds great. And I've got my voice is too loud sometimes too. I have to make sure that I'm not over modulating like I was just doing a second ago, I assume. But I'm going to take a quick peek down here. I saw some people jumped online. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Hey to all of you guys. Thank you so much. I'm moving close. I'm closing in on my first milestone, my first big milestone. I'm about to close in on my 500 subscribers, and I'm really excited about that. My watch time is moving along really well also, and I'm just excited to find out. And I verified from some of the YouTube, actually from the YouTube channel, of the videos that they do themselves. Two of the correspondents on YouTube did a video it was February 2024, and they were announcing that this vertical live stream counts towards your viewing hours. And so I was happy to hear that, because I was wanting to do it, but I was going to do it anyway. I had started anyway, even before I knew, but now I'm going to be, kind of obsessed with it. So which is good, because I want to get those watch hours. That's what I meant to say, not your viewing hours. Yeah, your watch hours. Kind of the same thing. So again, I'm going to take that footage that I shot today. It was a 2-camera shoot, actually. The vertical footage going off of my cell phone into YouTube Studio, and I could see it. I could, make the necessary adjustments there and label everything, and everything's great. I can do it much easier on my laptop. And then I also had the HVX 200 in the background filming the overall event. So the HVX 200, actually I started that feed earlier. I started that before I went live. So there's a little bit behind the scenes stuff there. I had noticed some of my behind the scenes content from the films I shot is showing really well. I have a couple of films that I had shot and they have been distributed, but the behind the scenes content has never been released. So I'm going to get that transferred. Actually, it was back in the mini DV days, and the films are still out there. So I'm going to get that transferred, and I'm going to get that here on my channel also. So again, my channel is mainly focusing on acting, directing, and editing. Those are my categories. And again, I will say this for any of you people who are jumped on right now. What I plan to do is, once I'm monetized, and actually I've done it already, I've been looking for comedians because I want to do some comedy humor content. I know that humor plays well here, and I'm not a big stand-up person, but I love to create this funny little shorts, and I've edited a lot of them over the years. So you'll notice there's a lot of those on my site now, funny little shorts that I've edited. And what I've done with those shorts, I've pulled out some of the best performances from the actors in those shorts, and I'm putting that content here. But I'm going to start creating more original content. And what I plan to do too is, there's a big surge, as a lot of you probably know, in vertical content. But most of it's coming out of China. Recently, maybe about almost 6 months ago, I live here in Pasadena, California, and a Chinese company opened up a satellite office, and they are shooting a bunch of this vertical content, and they were looking for writers. So I decided to shoot my resume over to them, and the next day I got a call because I had experience writing independent features for very low budget and shooting and editing and da-da-da-da. So I was right up their alley. So I went in for an interview and everything went good, and I even told them at the interview, I said, you guys are right here in my town shooting this content that I've been trying to do, and you have distribution in place. I said, it sounds too good to be true. But actually, once they decided to hire me, a few days went by, and then they decided to hire me. The amount of money they were offering was like ridiculous. So I couldn't do it. But I wanted to do it because I wanted to get on the inside and potentially create that content with them. But I'm glad it didn't work out that way, because I'd much rather create the content and distribute it somehow here on YouTube, and also set up a satellite website to distribute vertical content if it picks up here in the US, which is not sure. It's not a sure thing. A lot of companies have tried, like Snapchat. I was in one of their vertical series a number of years ago before I think Snapchat went under, but I was in one of their vertical series as an actor. And it was a good little series. They were spending, even I thought at that time, they were spending way too much money on it. But ultimately, that's what happened. I think they went in big on it and thought it was going to pick up like, a network television series. But I wish it had of too. It was a pretty good role. So I did that one episode, and not too long after that, I think they made more episodes, but they never could get the deal or the sponsorship they wanted. But I'm going to give it a try with humor here on YouTube in a smaller capacity. Obviously, I'm not going to be spending the money they had to spend. I don't even have access to that funding. And I don't think it's necessary, because as you see me sitting right here in my car in these vertical shots, everything is so tight. You can't see anything in the background. It's mainly just medium shots and close-ups, and you can get a few exterior shots, to establish where things are going on. So I'm going to give that a try also. So that's the reason that I'm here. I really am enjoying my time here so far on YouTube. It's so funny because I've had this channel for 19 years. I've had this YouTube channel for 19 years. And only within the last 6 months have I decided to use it to try to go towards this monetization and creating original content here for YouTube. And what I did with it, the first whole 19 years, was I used YouTube as a way to, a portfolio actually. I would upload a lot of the content that I created over the years with my business on web television was for other businesses, business to business video. I would do training films, I would do marketing films, I would do informational content for doctors, for all kinds of businesses, for lawyers. I had a big client, Cooperative of American Physicians, and we did a lot of training information for them. And a lot of it ended up here on YouTube. But I would use my samples on YouTube to attract new clients. And it worked out great for me. But I had eventually moved over to Vimeo because I had more control and I could make these nice looking players. So YouTube just remained there, and I didn't use it for the last 10 years. But once I saw how many people are having success with the monetization, I said, okay, let me revisit that. So I went back in, I cleaned off my YouTube channel, took all that content off that, was just dry business to business content, training that no one would be interested in unless they, it was part of their job where they had to do that kind of training. That's what the type of training that I created, where you're an employee and they say, okay, we have a new training video for you guys to watch. So-and-so thing has changed and we want you to be up on the operation of this new software, or we want you to be up on the operation of this new equipment. So those are the kind of training videos I did. So I've kind of pivoted away from that, not because I wanted to, because the world changed. So much more high quality equipment, and that anyone in the company, unfortunately for my business, anyone in the company could shoot the training videos, because you have those iPhones. You can shoot with that iPhone and the stuff looks great. And it's going on YouTube, or it's going what they call on the intranet, which is just inside their business. Or they're sending it to a private link to someone to look at to be trained. So it doesn't have to be fancy like the way I used to do it. Crew and actors and all that kind of stuff. And that's still done, but it's much, much smaller than it used to be. And I wanted to change. Unfortunately, I was forced to change, but I struggled with it, but I'm glad I made that pivot, because what I want to do is create more entertainment related content. And if I can keep going forward here on my YouTube channel, I will be able to do that. And I've also started recruiting some comedians to do stand-up, and I'm creating them individual playlists. And what I plan to do, the ones that are successful, what we're going to do is spin off their own channel. So there's a lot of possibilities, and I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to have you guys as viewers, and I want to thank you again for stopping in. And I'll be back on again in the morning sometime, like I said, around 11 or 12, going live while I'm working on this other content. So what I'm going to do is probably the days that I want to, that I can, I'm available, that I want to, and I want to show what I'm working on. And I think it will have some value to some people as I talk through what I'm doing, step by step, behind the scenes, creating of some of this content for some of my clients. And as we go forward, I'd love you guys to send me an email if you have any questions, or you have any questions about something that you're doing. I love to answer questions. I love to talk about this content stuff. As you see, video production, acting and directing, editing. So that's my little area, and I'm going to continue to try it here on YouTube and hopefully move forward. So thanks again. You guys have a nice evening. I'm going to sign off for now. I'll be back on sometime tomorrow, and I hope everybody has a good night. And thanks again. I do appreciate it. And I'll see you again on the next one.